I've taken running seriously for about 18 months now and only recently realised how much better it actually is when I completely stop forcing the pace and just take it nice and easy.
I'm in Lanzarote Playa Blanca and I don't think it gets much better than this for running. Nothing but nice, steady, easy mileage. I'm going to put this camera on so that you guys can see the view too, because it's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love running here. So this week we are running 45k and we're building all the way up to 100k over the next 32 weeks. We're in week number 7 of this aerobic mileage phase and we are absolutely loving it at the moment. Can't believe how good it is. There are some obvious drawbacks to it which I'll talk about in this video, but overall I absolutely love doing nothing but easy running. The body feels so good off it, it's insane. After every run I just feel refreshed, energized. Yeah, it's quality. So the plan for this morning's run is just a nice, easy, comfortable pace. We'll probably go a little bit slower than what our easy pace is anyway, because I'll be filming myself and talking whilst running, which never gets any easier, by the way. Still feel like an absolute balloon doing it, but that's the only drawback with doing the YouTube stuff. Still not got past the uncomfortableness of whipping a phone and filming myself in public, but I'm sure it'll get easier with time. So I say, as we just cross this road, I've still not figured out what a zebra crossing means in Spain. It's back home in the UK, literally everybody stops for them. Whereas in Spain, it seems to be they stop if they want to stop. At the moment, I've just checked the watch. I'm doing a 6-minute 10 and my heart rate is sort of top of zone 1, trickling into bottom zone 2. If my zones are set up right, I don't even think they are set up right. I'm just going off how it feels. But pre-marathon, so about 3.5 months ago, ran my first marathon. When I was sort of at the peak of my fitness, my easy pace was around a 5-minute 30 per kilometre, and I could hold that comfortably for the long run. About 3 or 4 weeks before the marathon, picked up an injury, which meant I missed some of the key sessions in the marathon. Just swapping hands there, gets tiring holding the phone. So ended up missing some of the key sessions, some of the key long runs, did a lot of bike work, completely ruined the taper. And then post-marathon, I was out injured for about 7 or 8 weeks before I slowly started building the mileage back up. And we're now running a 45km week. And we're doing nothing but easy running all the way up to, I think, the middle of July. We're just building that massive aerobic base. We're going to try and get up to around 80 to 100 kilometres per week, every single week. And then just hold that before we start introducing any speed work. And we're going to see what building that aerobic base does for the fitness. So for extra context, I'll just get my times up across the common run distances on the screen now, although I am in nowhere near PB shape across any of those distances. And that's onto my first drawback, I think. I'm just doing nothing but easy mileage. I find that the speed has definitely taken a hit. Morning. So I ran a 5k around 5 or 6 weeks ago, about 5 weeks ago, just to test where the 5k fitness was at. And it wasn't a complete all out, but it was a hard effort. And I did that in around 23 minutes. I'm just going to go up these stairs here. So I did that in around 23 minutes which is a good 4 minutes slower than my 5k PB. So that was the baseline. And then post the completion of this aerobic build, I will then be running another 5k and seeing what it's done to the 5k fitness pre any speed work. I'll then throw in speed work for, I don't know, 10-12 weeks, and we'll see what we've really done. And my heart rate's just spiked there as we run up those steps, so just going to slow it down and stop talking for a minute or so. Just lowered the heart rate again there, so feels a little bit more comfortable. That's the thing, when you're filming and running, it just definitely makes the whole experience a little bit harder. Just look at those views, and this is about 10 to 8 in the morning, and there's just barely a soul in sight. The water is so flat, so calm. It's just an unbelievable place to run around here. I absolutely love it. Bit better than those cold, dark mornings back at home in the UK during January, and highly recommend it. Only really started coming away in January. Last couple of years, never really done it before, but it's so nice to get away after Christmas. Obviously, have to plan for it because Christmas costs a bloody fortune, but definitely worth it when you've got those post-Christmas blues. Anyway, talking around speed work, so that is the main drawback I think at the moment. I know I'm losing speed, and I feel as though I am losing that sharpness, and I am losing that ability to run fast, and you start doubting the training and whether the type of training that you're doing is worth it, and you start thinking and questioning the plan. So for openness, I don't have a running coach. Well, I kind of do. I'm using ChatGPT, which in fairness I actually think is doing a great job. I don't think it's a substitute for a proper running coach, however it's certainly a lot cheaper, so that's why I've gone with ChatGPT. Morning. I have used Runner before, but I think Runner's better for sort of like race specific. Morning. For race specific workouts. And just to digress slightly, one of the best things about this route is you just see so many of the runners. Morning. Yeah, so at the moment I'm literally just running into that unbelievable sunrise. It looks so good. Obviously you can see it on my point of view camera right now. What a view that is. What a way to start the day. I am confident that the speed will come back eventually, but it's just a constant doubt as to whether the training that I'm doing is right, is correct. But I'm just going to trust the process. But having done the marathon back in October, I definitely think one of the limiting factors in not being able to get a faster time, and I put absolutely everything into that at the time, I couldn't have gone quicker on the day. I think one of the limiting factors was the sort of the lack of mileage that I'd done over the long term and that aerobic base. So that's the reasoning and rationale behind wanting to build a big aerobic engine. But aside from that, I think there's also a case for just running easy mileage anyway. I was doing a lot of speed work, and yeah, it made me fitter, and the 5k came down and the 10k came down, and I could feel myself getting faster, but it was absolutely exhausting on the body. I would then spend the rest of the day in an absolute pit, feeling awful, feeling horrendous, and it's so easy to overcook those speed sessions. Such a fine line between sending a good enough stimulus but also overcooking it, going too fast, making recovery a lot harder, and also risking injury. And I was probably doing that more often than what I should have done. Whereas when you're just running nothing but easy, you don't get that feeling at all. Morning, you actually feel a lot better. throughout the day. You feel as though you could go for another run. You feel fresh, you feel more present with whatever you're doing, work-wise, family-wise. So I think there's a case to just running nothing but easy mileage all the time. But if you care about your times and racing and getting faster, you definitely do need speed work. And that's what that book I read and the literature I read quite clearly says, that you get the fastest progression when the majority of your training is easy, then you sprinkle the speed work on top. Morning, but for now we're doing nothing but easy mileage and we're absolutely loving it. And I'm made up, I've got this and no horrible interval sessions for the next 6 months. Morning. Just jogged past the mum there on her daily jog. And I think one of the best things about running like this is you get to come in and get the hotel breakfast after your run. Literally can't think of a better way to start the day. So we are currently 3.5k into this run and heart rate is sort of 140s, which for the pace I'm going is a little bit higher than normal. It's expected when I'm using one hand to carry a phone on a selfie stick and I'm trying to record and film and talk about my running and where I am and whatnot. Definitely spikes the heart rate, so I think I'm going to call it there. If you want to follow along to my massive aerobic build journey, feel free to check my channel out. Thank you for watching and I will see you all soon.